We're in Norfolk for the 3rd annual Coots Norfolk Polo Festival. The two-day festival has grown since last year, with spectators travelling from all over East Anglia and beyond to be here. It's going to be an action-packed weekend of polo, with 3 tournaments and an international test match on the cards.
I've always had horses and always ridden horses, and Steve's now learning to ride, so we thought we'd just come and have a look.
It's definitely got a good atmosphere. There's lots of people, a variety of people, and well, the weather's out, so why not?
We've got both ends of the scale today. We've got England versus Australia, and at the same time, for the Warwick Townsend Trophy, we've got 8 players who only started playing polo within the last year. So it's just great to be able to show everyone that there's a great breadth to this wonderful sport.
I've met Chris Townsend at the end of last year, and he told me about the polo festival that he has going on here, and that he wanted to put on a match, perhaps with an international flavour. At the time, we'd just had an England 21 team go to Australia, and so I thought perhaps we could do a return match at Norfolk. Far better that it would be here as the main event for a big day than as a sideshow for one of the big days down at one of the big clubs. So that's where we are.
The international test match will be played over 8 chukkers across 2 days. We caught up with the players beforehand to hear their thoughts.
I've been lucky to play for England a few times now. We went out and played against a very similar team to this in Australia during the winter, where unfortunately, even though we won all of our warm-up games, we came up short in the test, so looking for a bit of revenge today.
Today it will be a bit more of a scramble, just because we haven't played together recently, and you know, not knowing the horses and everything else, but hopefully we can get off to a good start and get it rolling from the start, you know.
Bit of a disadvantage, like we've never ridden horses before, but I think the club's looked after us. We've gone to see the horses and they're all nice stock, so yeah, I think they've looked after us and they've given us a good chance to beat these guys.
Australians tend to play very sort of quick form. They don't really dribble it very much. They sort of hit it, run after it as fast as possible, sort of how Australians play any sport really. So we'll probably try and play a bit of a slower game, break up their rhythm, and hopefully sort of get them on the counter-attack, because they tend to overcommit a little bit.
What's it to be then? The tactical approach of the English, or the gung-ho style of the Aussies? With the first chukker of this 2-day test match about to get underway, it's time to hand you over to our commentator.
Welcome everyone to this under-21 international. Australia taking on England. Australia lining up at 1, Richard Curran 1 goal, at 2, Scott Tonkin 2 goals, at 3, Bingham Fitzhenry 2 goals, and at back, Luke Reed 2 goals. England under-21 line up as follows: at 1, Harold Hodges 2 goals, at 2, Charlie Scott 2 goals, at 3, Ed Winterton 2 goals, and at back, Oscar Mateus 2 goals. So their team handicap is 8, and in the white, ball's in play, and straight from the line-out, Richard Curran for the Australian team. Passes it back to Luke Reed. Luke Reed sends it forward. Curran does a little tail backhand, trying to set up Luke Reed, and Luke Reed picks it up on his near side. Oh, he's left it behind, in fact. And Curran's there to try and reassert. Plays the open backhand, but it bounces off Charlie Scott's pony, and it's reinforced now, met beautifully there by Oscar Mateus, who sends it forward, but Curran's coming through, and I think Curran may find that he's crossed the right of way there. Yes, he's annoyed with himself. He's saying, sorry boys, that was all my fault. So a penalty 4 will result. Let's just re-watch that. Yeah, there was Oscar Mateus piling on down the right of way, and Richard Curran coming across. In comes Charlie Scott then for this penalty 4. Nice swing. Oh, he's hit that well, and there's nothing the Australians could do about that. England on the scoreboard then.
Well, I have to say, he struck that beautifully, ladies and gentlemen.
Charlie Scott, really nice swing. That's very simple. Boom, right out of the middle of the mallet. No messing. Here we go then. Luke Reed sends a huge drive up to the front door. but on the other end of that is Ed Winterton, who sends it across the ground. Coming with him though is Scott Tonkin, plays the backhand, doesn't quite get a hold of it, but it's reinforced there by Oscar Mateus, looking for his number one. Whistle goes, and Winterton came straight across Richard Curran there. That's going to be a penalty to Australia. Yeah, he's annoyed with himself. Now Luke Reed, the back for Australia under-21. In he comes. Going to try and do what Charlie Scott did earlier on. Oh, he's miscued that horribly. Oh dear, oh dear, oh dear. Harold Hodges, the England number one, comes through and swoops on that ball and accelerates now and goes straight past Luke Reed as if he's standing still. Now, huge drive down the field. That's a cloud puncher. It's coming down out of the sky into the danger zone here. Harold Hodges keeping his head low, puts it through, and another goal for England. That was really good play by the England number one. Swooped on that loose ball and then piled on down the ground with a huge shot right into the danger zone inside the 30-yard line. He just had to tap it through, kept his head down, didn't try and hit it too hard. Really well played, Harold Hodges. Balls in play again, Ed Winterton. The Australians have got one penalty back, so they're within half a goal. Winterton now bringing that ball forward, accelerating here, hard ridden by Bingham Fitzhenry. Bingham Fitzhenry with the near side backhand. First to turn on it though is Harold Hodges. What a game he's having already, bringing that ball round. Now who's there supporting him? It's Ed Winterton with the near side under the neck. Can he go all the way here? And we've got a whistle. And I think Ed Winterton was the jam in the Australian sandwich there, so this is another penalty, another chance for Charlie Scott. In he comes. Penalty two, very straightforward, dissects the posts. So England continue to progress here. And Charlie Scott, very natural swing he has, and dissects the posts perfectly. Of course, that was an undefended goal. Here we go then. 3 to a goal and a half. Now, what can the Australians do to respond? Here's Bingham Fitzhenry. You fancy a lot rests on his shoulders, the number 3, but Ed Winterton picks it up on his near side here. The two number 3s knocking lumps out of each other. Winterton with a near side backhand, picked up nicely there by Charlie Scott, but left behind now. Harold Hodges, what can he do with it? Backed out of there by Luke Reed, but met and sent forward by Charlie Scott, and that's gone forward. Ed Winterton's in the clear. Winterton, can he convert here? Tap, tap, tap. It's rolling, it's rolling, it's rolling. It's just got inside the left-hand goal post. Good support play by England there. Backing each other up. Here's the drive by Charlie Scott to the front door, and Ed Winterton finds himself 3, 4, 5 lengths to the good. And all he's got to do is just tap this through. Didn't really get a very clean strike on it, but it was enough to give the ball enough momentum to get across the line. Hit in then. Oscar Mateus biding his time. Oh, that one's bounced off a horse. Now what's he going to do with this? Whistle goes. And it looks like Richard Curran is pretty convinced he had the right of way. So here comes Scott Tonkin for Australia. Well, he's got plenty of wood on that, but I'm afraid it's gone wide. Let's just have a look at the replay there. He comes, strikes it nicely. Well, it's faded at the end, but I just wonder if it... yeah, Jason Dixon says, no, that was a goal. So Australia beginning to creep back into this. 4 plays 3.5 at the beginning of chukker number 3, and here come Australia on the attack. Richard Curran sending a ball forward to Bingham Fitzhenry. Bingham Fitzhenry having to escape the attentions of Oscar Mateus. And can he get it under the neck? No, he can't. Mateus with the tail backhand saves England's bacon there. Ed Winterton drives the ball up towards halfway. Back in defence is Luke Reed for Australia. Plays the open backhand. And turning quickly onto that is Richard Curran. Richard Curran now, the Australian number 1. Oh, heavily hooked there by Harold Hodges. Winston now trying to get England back on the attack, turns it underneath his pony's neck. Here comes Luke Reed to come and ride him off, but Winston's still in charge. Oh, a great bump from Luke Reed. Can he go all the way here? Winterton, the approach shot. No, he's been hooked out of it. Following up is Oscar Mateus. He can't get a hold of it. Charlie Scott's following up though, and Charlie Scott's converted the goal. Brilliant play from the number 2. They're really supporting each other well, this young England team. So a fabulous field goal just coming through. Mateus just didn't get near it, and Scott comes through and just makes sure. Really well supported. Ball's in play. Curran sends it out towards the boards, looking for Scott Tonkin. Scott Tonkin on the boards here, and coming through is Bingham Fitzhenry. Bingham Fitzhenry coming through here. Charlie Scott's in hot pursuit. Backed out of there by Charlie Scott, but it bounces off a horse. Winston fighting hard for it. Richard Curran coming through for Australia though. Curran on his near side. Curran still there. Curran, can he convert? We've got a whistle. Awful lot of traffic. I think Curran may have been guilty of turning across the line there. So yes, Dicko's just saying, mate, you crossed the line. So it's a hit from the spot to England. Penalty 5A. Charlie Scott. Which way are all these boys going to go? In comes Ed Winston. Taps it forward. Oh, the steal by Curran. The steal by Curran. And Curran, oh, he's left it behind him. That was a very good effort by the Australian number 1. Now, England have got to defend. Backed in there by Curran. It's bounced off a horse, you know, and it's gone through. Would you believe it? The near side backhand from Curran deflected off a horse and went in the goal. They all count, you know. Australia a little bit lucky there, but yeah, just came off Harold Hodges' pony and sneaks inside the right-hand goalpost. Here we go again. Now, Charlie Scott in front here. Now, what can he do with this? He's got to bring it off the boards. Can't quite connect with the under the neck shot. Luke Reed seeing him off as well, but Harold Hodges getting in on the argument. Whistle goes, and I think that might be a case of 2 against 1 there. That's probably going to go in favour of England. Yeah, here we go. Charlie Scott with a very simple penalty for, look at that, huge. Ball had ice on it as it came down. He is seeing the ball big today. Makes such a difference when someone on your team can hit penalties like this. Look at that. Absolutely nothing the Australians could do about that. Now then, Harold Hodges, who's had a terrific game, plays a beautiful backhand. Who's on the other end of it? Well, Luke Reed sends it back with interest, but it's picked off here by Winterton, and Rhys Sterling here by Luke Reed, and Luke Reed sending it down the ground now, riding hard, the number 4. Can he go all the way here? No, he can't. He's well backed up though by Richard Curran, and that ball's rolling down towards the goal. Is it going to go all the way? Oh, just over the back line outside the goal. Winterton with a nice drive up to the 60-yard line, but Fitzhenry's there to turn it around for Australia. Curran very quick to adjust to the new line, but retaking control there. Charlie Scott doing the short backhand to his mate Harold Hodges, and I'm afraid Harold may be guilty of crossing there. That's going to go Australia's way. In comes Scott Tonkin then for this penalty for. Staring a bit down the gun barrel, Australia. They're 4.5 adrift. Oh, he's hit that nicely. He's hit that well, and that's gone through. Beautiful penalty take by Scott Tonkin there. Just watch this swing again. Really simple. Boom. Right out of the middle of the mallet. And Harold Hodges reaching for it, but he couldn't do anything. Now, England comfortably in front, but they like to be more comfortably in front. There's a lovely pass between the 2 and 3, and here comes Ed Winterton, opens his shoulder, sends a cloud puncher of a ball up towards the Australia 60-yard line. Can he go all the way? That's beautifully under the neck. Oh, it was a good effort. Only about 3 foot to the right of the right-hand goal post. So end of day one then. England could be very happy with what they've achieved so far. Australia, they've got a bit of work to do.
That should be competitive tomorrow. There's not too big a gap. 3 goals is pretty easy to score. We scored 9 today, so I'm pretty sure tomorrow's still going to be competitive.
Definitely look at our mistakes, but more look at our positives. Like, seeing the mistakes, we know the mistakes, put them aside, look at the positives and work on the positives and give them a good going tomorrow.
So England with the upper hand after day one of the international. England are ahead by 3.5 goals. But with 4 chukkers remaining, a win for the Australians is still well within reach.
Beautiful backhand from Luke Reed, but on the other end of that is Ed Winterton. Playing defensive here. Can he keep control of the bouncing ball? Yes, he can. No, he's going to try and turn this upfield. Getting forward is Harold Hodges. Winterton now. Pressure coming from Luke Reed though. Oh, he's left it behind. And now Charlie Scott picks it up. Charlie Scott on that lovely dun pony. What can he do with this? Tapping it down towards the corner here. What's he going to do with it? Plays the near side backhand. Didn't get much length on it though. But picking it up nicely was Harold Hodges. Harold Hodges round the corner. Harold Hodges down towards the goal, lofted. Can he keep control of the bouncing ball? It's rolling, 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 it's there! Oh, Harold Hodges. Finished off there by Oscar Mateus. But I think it had already gone over the line, so England resuming where they left off yesterday. Yes, that ball had just gone over the line. Mateus just making sure of it. Now, Scott leaves it behind him, turned around by Richard Curran, but picked up by Harold Hodges. Backed out of there though by Bingham Fitzhenry. Met now though by Oscar Mateus. And quickly following through is Charlie Scott again. Charlie Scott. Oh, he can't quite get a hold of it. Harold Hodges in on the action though. Hodges with the open backhand. He's put it through. That was lovely play. Well played, Harold Hodges. What a game he's having, this boy. And Charlie Scott too, changing his horse there. Just watch this action here. Harold Hodges, so many sticks, thrashing. He could only have seen about 2 foot of that goal, but he played his little open backhand and in it went. 11 plays 5.5. Now, from the line out, Oscar Mateus trying to bring that ball away, but Richard Curran's picked it up for Australia here. Oh, heavily hooked by Harold Hodges. And coming forward is Luke Reed. Luke Reed trying to get his team back on the attack. And I think Harold Hodges, if we look from the other angle, we'll see that as he was coming down the line here, he's gone in front of Luke Reed there. Just straight across the right of way, and I think the umpires will take a dim view of that. That'll be a penalty 2 to Australia. And here is Scott Tonkin coming in to take this penalty. Remember, it's an undefended goal. All he's got to do is just stroke the ball between the posts. Ooh, Tony rushed there, and he's put it wide. I don't believe it. England breathe a collective sigh of relief. That was getting out of jail for sure. That should have been a gift, that should have been. Anyway, here we come. Ed Winterton, rest of his team getting upfield. Here's the offload. Boom! Oh, it's bounced off a horse. Richard Curran's there to head it off. Plays the short little backhand to Luke Reed. Luke Reed with Oscar Mateus trying to get in on the action, but it's still Luke Reed for Australia now. Now can he take it all the way? Here comes Winterton to try and head him off, but Luke Reed's not going to make a mistake from that range. Australia get one back, courtesy of that man. Just watch him here. There's Mateus trying to hook him, so is Winterton. But Luke Reed just managing to tickle that ball between the flags. End of the chukker. 11 plays 6.5. Chukker number 7 underway. Winterton with the backhand. Picked up nicely though by Luke Reed. The Australian back. Here comes Harold Hodges to head him off though, but he's well backed up there by Scott Tonkin, who sends it to the front door. And coming through, Luke Reed can't quite pick it up on the near side. Harold Hodges with the near side backhand. Met though by Richard Curran. Richard Curran's put it through. Good play by the number one. Good eyeball coordination there. Did the good meet. There was the ball. He sees the line, he meets it, he turns it. The umpire's playing good advantage there because Charlie Scott came straight across him, but Richard Curran making no mistake. Harold Hodges with a beautiful near side backhand. Luke Reed's back there in defence. Now what can he do with this? Oh, he's left it behind him, and swooping through there is Winterton, and Ed Winterton is out in front on his own. Now can he go all the way? There's the approach shot. He's over the 60. Coming back in defence was Scott Tonkin. They've ridden over the top, but backing up was Oscar Mateus. Lofted and through. How well drilled are this young England squad. Here was Winterton. He gets a big bump from Scott Tonkin, and Charlie Scott couldn't do anything about it, but Mateus was on the case and lofts it through. England really showing good skills here. 12 plays 8.5, the ball's in play, and coming through Luke Reed for Australia, trying to tickle that ball forward, get his team back on the scoreboard. Backed up here by Scott Tonkin. That's a huge drive. Oh, taken in the air by Harold Hodges, who plays the backhand. Didn't get much length on it. Met there by Fitzhenry, and that one's gone through. Looking forward to seeing the replay of this one. That was extraordinary. Fitzhenry. Here's the drive, all the way down the ground. Harold Hodges plays the little short backhand, but Fitzhenry just piling on down the right of way, drives it through. 9.5 to 12. Now from the line out, Harold Hodges for England, bringing that ball forward. Scott Tonkin takes him out of it. And following through here is Charlie Scott. Charlie Scott, hooked out of it there by Luke Reed, but he's gone straight past him. And Charlie Scott taking that down towards the goal. Can he go all the way? There's nothing the Australian team can do. Charlie Scott, what a fabulous field goal that was. Just watch the replay here. He fights off all his Australian sticks trying to hook him, keeps his eye on the ball, and just tap, 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 makes sure. Great play. England on the attack once more. Oscar Mateus trying to bring that ball away on that lovely grey pony. He's left it behind him. Luke Reed with a huge open backhand. Richard Curran's there to pick it up, but he's hassled out of it. And now Fitzhenry sends the ball downfield. He's riding hard for it here. Back in defence, Ed Winterton, who plays the near side backhand, opens it up. Oh, it's met there by Luke Reed though, and that one's going down to the right. Now here comes Fitzhenry. What can he do? He picks it up on his near side. I don't believe it. He's put it through. That was fabulous play by the Australian number 3, Bingham Fitzhenry. That was right out of the top draw. A huge drive from Luke Reed. Meets this ball, sends it skyrocketing up to the front door. And Fitzhenry has the coordination just to play it on his near side and tap it between the posts. That was fabulous. So Australia on the up here. Now Scott Tonkin going to hit the ball in. 10.5 to 13 Australia trail. Scott Tonkin driving it up to his forwards. Richard Curran couldn't pick it up on his near side. Harold Hodges with the backhand. Oh, and Charlie Scott's there in front, unmarked. Charlie Scott under the neck and through. And that may be the final nail in the coffin, you fancy. England linking so well. There's Harold Hodges' beautiful tailed backhand. And anticipating so well was Charlie Scott. And here he comes, a little under the neck push and straight between the flags. Great play. Now Scott Tonkin opens his shoulder, sends a lovely pass up over halfway. He's galloping hard here, going himself. Lovely cut shot to the middle. Can he go all the way? Scott Tonkin galloping hard. Oh, he's just left it behind him. Who's backing up? It's Luke Reed. Luke Reed taking that ball to goal for Australia, and it's just a simple case of under the neck through. They've got one back, but it might be too late. Good play nonetheless. Scott Tonkin and Luke Reed really linking well. Here he is, just bringing that ball to goal. Written off there by Harold Hodges, but Harold Hodges couldn't do anything about that. And it's all over, the final whistle's gone. What a wonderful showcase of young polo talent we've seen over the 2 days. The eventual score, 14 to 12 and a half in favour of England.
Congratulations to England. Australia came close, but in the end it wasn't quite enough. Ed Winterton receives the Coots Cup for England, while Harold Hodges is chosen as the most valuable player. Well done, the English boys.